Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into what we honestly thought was going to be a super straightforward mission, tracking down the critical, life-saving 10 phases of firefighting. We were expecting the usual, clear instructions, tactical maneuvers, all those essential safety protocols. But, well, what we actually found is this fascinating, literally unbelievable journey into the completely bizarre world of digital translation and algorithmic failure. So grab your gear because we're heading into some seriously uncharted territory.
All right, let's just get right to it. Section 1, the firefighting mystery.
So, to bring you the best possible info, we gathered up 3 distinct sources that ostensibly outlined emergency procedures. We were fully geared up for a rigorous, highly structured guide, right? And our investigation kicked off with what looked like an absolute goldmine, a source literally titled 10 Phases of Firefighting, uploaded by a user named Jackie X. Shane. You'd think a title that specific would just be packed with operational data. Yeah, well, we thought so too, until we actually checked the automated transcript, which immediately plunged us into this wild, completely unexpected digital mystery.
Which brings us to Section 2, demons and plant stems.
Okay, yes, you are reading that right. Instead of detailing, fire suppression tactics or evacuation protocols, the auto-caption algorithm decided to go rogue and feed us a deeply surreal, completely disjointed narrative entirely in Indonesian. It completely abandons any mention of actual fire. This bizarre digital artifact translates roughly to this weird story about large demons competing with adults and, quote, happily searching for plant stems. Like, how does an algorithm that's meant to transcribe a firefighting presentation hallucinate an Indonesian fantasy tale about flora-foraging demons? It is absolutely mind-boggling, and it perfectly highlights just how fast automated systems can totally lose the plot.
Moving right along to Section 3, the Cookie Policy Protocol.
So obviously hoping for some hard, concrete data and, frankly, some much-needed clarity, we eagerly pivoted away from our demon hunting algorithm to source number 2. This was an official-sounding PowerPoint file explicitly titled 10 Phases of Firefighting Operation. Sounds properly documented, doesn't it? Well, this right here brilliantly illustrates the ultimate bait and switch. We wanted detailed operational diagrams, but the actual presentation contained zero, and I mean zero, operational data. Instead, it was literally just an empty container for generic web privacy prompts. The system had just scraped a random website's cookie warning and packaged it up as a firefighting training module.
Let's actually look at the text captured inside this file. We're unironically presented with these digital bullets, things like performance cookies and targeted advertising, as if they're the literal modern tools used by first responders to put out a blaze. Can you just imagine a fire chief yelling to deploy the personalization cookies to the second floor? It's pretty funny for sure, but it also really shows you how easily administrative digital debris can completely masquerade as substantive, life-saving information.
So with 2 sources failing spectacularly to mention anything even remotely related to actual firefighting, we turned to our final hope, a source uploaded by a channel promisingly named Fire Out PH. I mean, surely an account entirely dedicated to putting fires out could extinguish our confusion and finally just give us the 10 phases, right?
Welcome to Section 4, Pianos and City Halls.
Believe it or not, our journey is about to get even stranger. The automated transcript for this final source was, for some completely unknown reason, generated in Portuguese, totally abandoning the firehouse, for this chaotic avant-garde scene. If we actually try to force some sort of logical, operational, step-by-step structure onto this absolute chaos, we get this bizarre narrative. Step 1, the speaker announces they're just joking around. Step 2, they establish their location near a piano by a city hall. And Step 3, they vehemently deny that a flame belongs to them. Hey, finally, a mention of a flame, but only to legally distance themselves from it while apparently hanging out at a public piano.
And just when you kind of think you have a handle on whatever this narrative is, the transcript wraps up with this super cryptic, jumbled Portuguese translation. There's a mention of a baby winning a judgment, a grade being made, and then just a series of fragmented, polite thank yous. So once again, the actual 10 phases of firefighting are totally absent, just swallowed whole by a busted transcription algorithm that apparently prefers writing abstract poetry over logging actual data.
Which leads us to Section 5, the digital debris takeaway.
So what exactly are we supposed to learn from this incredibly strange expedition? Because as you've seen, what this explainer ultimately reveals isn't a physical guide to fighting physical fires. The absolutely crucial point here is this. When automated systems scrape, translate, and transcribe without any human oversight, the actual intent of the media is frequently, and sometimes entirely, lost.
Essential human knowledge, like literally how to save a burning building, just vanishes into this weird void of Indonesian plant stems, website cookie policies, and Portuguese pianos. The auto-generated metadata has completely replaced the actual human message.
And this brings us to an incredibly important question I want to leave you with today. As we rely more and more on automated archiving, AI transcriptions, and mass data scraping to preserve our collective knowledge, we really have to ask ourselves, how much of our digital record is reliable human-verified fact, and how much of it is just an algorithmic hallucination? Definitely something to keep in mind the next time you're searching for vital information online. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and stay curious.